Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where we are currently looking into our generate biomes function here. It's a little on the slow side, and it needs to maybe not be. We call this 2,500 times after all. And it ends up taking about 40 seconds to execute. So the question is why? We've identified at this point that it's not the Voronoi time. It gets through this pretty quickly, I'm pretty sure. We're doing remove at here. I don't think this is too bad. So, what else do we have going on in this function? Well, we do all of this allocation, which, you know, isn't amazing, but it isn't horrible either. So we get our nearest biome hex, which we get this by going through all of the biomes. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's the best way we can do that. Square magnitude seems good. This switch seems fine. Get nearest entry point might not be fine, but it has to be what it is. That switch statement is irrelevant now, apparently. And that's it. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and reload scripts. I want to deep profile this. Okay, so we've got some overhead here of like 59.1 milliseconds. That's fine. I'm mostly concerned about our generate biomes of 1326 milliseconds to generate 50 biomes. Wow. 50 world hexes worth of biomes. So let's come on in here. Now let's run this for a little bit. Oh, okay. We need to actually completely restart it. Come on. Just reloading scripts right now. No, seriously, come on. You can stop. It appears to be really confused. Yeah, Unity just isn't letting me do anything right now. Excellent. Well, maybe it's registered my click and it'll get there soon enough. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really see anything in here other than potentially the get nearest entry point, but that should be relatively few hexes that's called for. Because of course we have our Voronoi set up here. I really wish that that Unity would let me do this. I mean, I suppose I could start up Task Manager and force quit it. It might not be the worst idea. Unity is apparently a little broken right now. Let's try this once more. Okay. So we want to do Window, Analysis, Profiler. We're going to start up the deep profile. And we're just going to run this a little bit. So this here is when it's generating the 2500 world hexes and the height. Which is actually taking kind of a while. Okay. And there it went straight to 6%. Did you see that? Skipping profile frame. Receiver cannot keep up. Oh, great. I kind of want you to give me some info. I don't see any information. Yes, just skipping every profile frame. Too much information. Well, we're just gonna have to not deep profile then. That's unfortunate. Okay, come on, Unity. You can do it. I realize there's a lot going on here, but this is slightly ridiculous. One of these days, Unity will catch up. But it may not be this day. Oh, there we go. Okay, excellent. So let's turn off the deep profile. Oh, it's still working. Come on. Do we need to turn it off and on again? Shouldn't, theoretically. What you doing, Unity? Unity is currently using 21 gigs of RAM. What are you doing, Unity? Stop that. Good lord. That's, not exactly what I was looking for it to be doing. But that explains a lot, like why it didn't want to profile that. Okay. Analysis, profiler. We'll run it for 1 frame. Now, it does bear noting that the profiler is going to be slowing down our generation time pretty considerably. We might actually want to run this without the profiler and just see how fast it actually goes, as is. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's go ahead and close that out, and then get rid of the profiler. Or at least turn off the profiler. Which I'm doing right now. If Unity could catch up. It's using 24 gigs again. What are you doing, Unity? I'm just going to end it. And relaunch it. It's not been doing that before. I have to assume that's something in the profiler. So much RAM usage, though. Okay. Let's try this without the profiler and see what the RAM usage is like, and see what Unity does in terms of speed here. Okay, much better on the RAM usage. Currently using about 2 gigs. Make that about 3 gigs. We can optimize that later, I'm sure. There's some things that we're storing that we don't need to be storing, but 3 gigs isn't the worst. But it's only 40% done. Okay, see, look at that. This section here is going nice and quick. So yeah, that went 44 seconds. It's currently using about 5 gigs of RAM, and that's something we can optimize later on. But okay, I do want to check in our hex manager here. Oh, come on. Get out of there, Unity. In our hex manager here, I do want to check and see how we're doing here. So let's just see how much worse it makes it when we are updating in here instead. So we update after every single hex. Now that is going to slow us down substantially. How substantially? We'll find out. But we are going to get a lot more frequent updates. So as soon as it generates here, yeah, see? We're getting a lot more frequent updates. There's a garbage collection. That was another one. I think that was another one too. So you can see that each one takes a pretty consistent amount of time, except for the garbage collection. This is currently at about 27 per second. It's kind of variable, but not too bad. We'll see how long this ends up taking. It will be longer than doing it the other way, that's for sure. We know that for a given, because all this rendering overhead and such. But I mean, ultimately that was 64 seconds. Not perhaps the absolute worst. Now, one thing I would like to do, while I'm thinking of it, is after we do our biome generation down here, or perhaps after we do our building generation. No, I think after we do our biome generation, so when we are over here, like when we're completely done with biome generation. I've never done this via script before, but I would like to set the world hexes to static. They don't move, so world hex, or rather just, is it in the transform? No? Is it in game object? GameObject.isStatic equals true. But that's an editor-only API that specifies if a game object is static. How do we do that via script properly then? Unity make object static in script. Yeah, this is an editor-only thing. Is it possible to set the game object to static in runtime? Many optimizations need to know if an object can move during gameplay. Information about a static, i.e. non-moving object, can often be pre-computed in the editor in the knowledge that it will not be invalidated by a change in the object's position. For example, rendering can be optimized by combining several static objects into a single large object known as a batch. Answer is no, you can't set object to static at runtime. Okay, so this isn't going to be a thing. That's unfortunate. Okay. So, I mean, we are doing a lot of things here. And one thing that I would like to do is look up Unity prevent garbage collection. Like, how can we optimize that? That's slowing us down a fair amount. So, how do we get rid of that on the fly, potentially? So we've allocated in, like for example, we've allocated in these lists. When we're done with them, how do we get rid of them? Do we just null them? Blah, blah, blah. Reducing the impact of garbage collection. So we could cache these lists, potentially. Well, one thing we could definitely do is we could cache these lists, actually. Is there anything else that we really use in here, like, a lot, other than these lists? There is. But, yeah. So, what we could do is we could, in the hex manager, when we're doing our generate biomes here, we could do something along the lines of, actually up here, this. And declare these lists here, so that we aren't doing them in here. And then we would pass them in via the parameters here. So we just paste this in here. So we've got our seeds and our potential seeds. And that'll give us a lot fewer lists, but we do need to go into our world hex and set that up to take that. So seeds, list, world hex, seeds. Actually, this should be hex store. Seeds, list, hex store, potential seeds. And then we just clear them. Because we are assuming they're going to be empty, right? So we just clear them and then use them again. So we're not allocating that again. Now this here, that's just a bunch of integers. I don't think that's going to speed us up hugely substantially, but it might speed us up a little bit. Let's take a quick look at what exactly that ends up doing. I don't expect that to be a huge gain, but it might be a surprisingly large one. I don't know. I'll be shocked if it's, if it's below 40 seconds, I'll be shocked. Let's find out. I mean, this does feel a little faster, doesn't it? There's still those garbage collections there. Yeah, we're still hitting 2 garbage collections so far. But this definitely feels faster. We'll see what the timer says. I think that was our 3rd major garbage collection there. That's our 4th. $57 seconds. So that was a, what, like 6-second reduction? That's not too bad. It's not huge, but it was a reduction. Anyway, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Next episode, we're probably going to be moving on from this for now, and we're probably going to be starting to work on vehicles. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.